Welcome to the Strong Women in the Bible devotional Bible study, and today we are looking at Hannah. Hannah is known for her fervent of prayer. Then Hannah prayed, "My heart rejoices in the Lord has made me strong. Now I have an answer for my enemies. I rejoice because you rescued me. No one is holy like the Lord. There is no one besides you. There is no rock like our God. Stop acting so proud and haughty. Don't speak with arrogance, for the Lord is a God who knows what you have done. He will judge your actions." Today we will read about Hannah keeping her promise to God and the strength that comes when we praise and worship God. To get a better understanding of Hannah's story, read 1 Samuel chapter 1 and 2. Hannah was barren. This was a disgrace in the culture she lived in at the time, and it was viewed as very important to have children, especially boys. Hannah was desperate to have a child, and I know that many of us can identify with her. So what did Hannah do? She prayed fervently and made a vow or promise to God to dedicate her son to God's service. Hannah now has her boy, called Samuel, and it is thought that the boy was probably about 3 years old. It is time to keep her promise and bring Samuel to the temple so that Eli the priest could train him to be a priest. Can you imagine giving up your child like that? It would take rock solid faith and trust in God. That is something God taught me to do with my much prayed for son. He was so tiny and I was terrified that something bad would happen to him. I eventually committed him to God's care and trusted him to take care of him. And he has. He has overcome learning difficulties and he is now in college studying journalism. Be influenced by Hannah and commit your children to God's care and trust him to get them to the plans that he already has for them. Do you know some of Samuel's story? God had a plan, a perfect plan. Samuel needed to be born at a crucial time in history. God also needed Hannah to be willing to dedicate her son to be raised as a priest. Samuel was not only a priest, but he was also a prophet, a counselor, and Israel's greatest judge. He was the one who would anoint David as king, and David was in the lineage of Christ. See what happens when you commit your child to God. Another lesson that we learn from Hannah is to lift up a sacrifice of praise during and after our time of trials. Our verses today are part of a song of praise and worship that Hannah sings to God. She exalts in him as a holy and sovereign one, all-powerful and just. Hannah praised God with all her heart. She delighted in how God had delivered her from the disgrace she had known as a childless woman. Hannah was so strong in her heart that she could joyfully release Samuel to God and trust that he would accomplish his plans in her son's life. And he did. To sum up, consider the story of Hannah and learn from this strong woman. She surrendered to God, she fervently prayed to God and trusted him. Take hope and courage from Hannah's story that God has a plan for you too, and he has perfect timing for his plans to unfold in your life. And while you wait, give God your sacrifice of praise. What is God saying to you through these verses? Write out your prayer request. What are you grateful for today? Count your blessings. Record your answers on the following page and join me tomorrow as we learn to love like Ruth. Here is the journal, the prayer journal part of our devotional, which you will find in the ebook. And there are places for you to write the date and the scripture verse. You just tap it and you add your text box and you can write, and you can change the colour of your text to any colour you want, and you can decrease the font size. And this is what I'm grateful for today, for all the women that encouraged me. I'll just add a me, and then you tap on the box and it's done. And then your prayer requests. Now, I have this from my photo library and it's all about Afghanistan. Oh, that iconic photo I'm sure you've all seen, with everyone packed into the plane. So I like to put photos here for to help me look at as I pray, and then you can also add text. So you just add the text box there and you can type away. And then there's a spot for you to write out the scripture verse, which is great because it helps you, I don't know, it sets it deep in your heart as you're writing it out. You could also just write a summary. And down here you can say, right, what is God saying to you through this verse? Now you will find this in our shop, and if you use the code STRONG, all capitals, 50, you get 50% off. Thank you for joining me today in our Bible study. Bye.